Hello and welcome to Adepticon in Schaumburg, Illinois. Got in there. I stayed the night at my dad's place over by Davenport and drove in actually I couldn't sleep. I was either excited or just been in a strange bed. I couldn't sleep for hardly anything. I got up crazy early, drove into Chicago, found the hotel, and then I took a little nap in the car before the event. It started snowing on me. It's crazy weather on Saturday. So here is the convention hall that we're playing in, and here is more the bolt action side. There's 42 players, so you know, pretty good turnout. If you've never been to Adepticon, there's just rooms and rooms like this packed of miniature gaming. But there's Josh there in the maroon shirt. You remember him from a game or two. And then so I all the way to Chicago, I was berating myself for changing my army list. I did all those prep games. I did all that planning. I had all that success. And then for some unbeknownst reason that I always do to myself, I want to challenge my list to play it a little different. I want to challenge myself. Not the time and place to do it. So I really liked the setup I had before. And if you followed my last battle report, I had Steve come up from Lincoln, and he brought his Soviet Union army, and it pretty much stomped the turd out of me. So driving, and I can't change it back. So I'm driving to Chicago, and I'm game planning what I'll have to do in certain situations. And the main thing that I have, I should have just got rid of the anti-tank gun and done something different with that. But I need mobile. I need some mobile guns. So I'm just gonna have to have my Ram try to block up the stuff and take the damage. Because this is, if you missed my last battle report, this is what I switched to: an A9 cruiser tank, a Ram Kangaroo, and I still have my Buffalo with the autocannon, and I have a heavy mortar. I don't have a whole lot of with enemy armor, and I don't have any recce. And I don't have, I mean, I got a bunch of machine guns, but I'm going to a competitive tournament. There's going to be a lot of veteran infantry. Medium machine guns are not that great against heavy infantry veterans, especially if those veterans have Panzerfaust, because then I can't get super close and let them have it at really close range. But anyway, it is what it is. So I'm going into this. I think I dug myself quite a hole, especially when I look on some of the Facebook groups and seeing some of the lists that people are putting up there, and they're very, but not everybody, but you know, I'm driving all this way. I want to try to have a shot to win. So here's the Adepticon rule summary. I don't know if you can read that or not, but basically, you know, bring a good attitude. It's 1,250 points, 16 order dice cap, which is why I took the Cromwell before, because I figured people are going to have to take medium to heavy tanks to fill that. And they do have an anti-aircraft gun rule. So the anti-aircraft guns, the specific selections don't have the -2 for aircraft. So I'm hoping that people won't bring aircraft. I'm not bringing an anti-aircraft dedicated unit. I have a lot of them on my Buffalo, but it will still suffer. And then basically armored transports can fire one gun if they're unoccupied. And then they did add the day of the event, and this is a Warlord sponsored event, which makes me very happy. They did add that ambush interrupts recce. I think that's a very smart rule. I think a lot of people, everyone clapped for that. So that was very exciting to hear them do that. I mean, I'm not saying Warlord did it, but you know, obviously they were present. And that's just, I think, the gaming club, the community of people all applauded, because they just think that that's a no-brainer. And not that it's going to help me much, but I do think that that's intelligent. Well, it does help me a little bit. But all right, so here's scenario 1. The rules packet. You can read this. It says setup. Highest player picks the table side. Deployment is 6 inches from their table edge. Players have option place, spotters, blah, blah, blah. Aim is to control as many objectives as possible. There's 6 on the table, so you basically own your 3, and then you got 3 over there. When you go to the victory conditions, major victory, double the points of your opponent, minor, more than, and draw is equal. So every 3, you get 3 points for every objective controlled, You get a half a point for every enemy unit destroyed, and you get 1 point for enemy officer destroyed. I think this is a very interesting scenario. I like this one a lot because you can go for kill shots and try to wipe your opponent off the board and get points that way. You can control objectives. So even if you give up one, but you get to lose a lot of guys, I think it's a very balanced one. I think it's interesting, and I like the looks of it. I think it will go well with my army list when I read it, in that I will be able to defend 2, and then the third one that I'm defending is going to be my launch of my attack, and it would be really difficult for him to get through my spearhead to get to my third one, and all I need to do is really capture 1 of his, and then make sure that we kill about equal number of troops, and I should be able to get a win on it. I think this one favors my army list, being very mobile, always depending on the table. So here's the table. It's a neat little jungle type of place. This is my side of the board. You see the tokens. There's 2 of them, and there's 1 over to the left. There's some destroyed tanks. Those are hard cover. This swampy crap is rough ground, provides soft cover. You got trees, you know what they are. They do block line of sight, 2 inches. That thing in the middle, that barbed wire enclosure, we're just going to play that as a building, and then as the fence being an obstacle that provides no cover. There is a gate you can go through, but otherwise you can't run over the barbed wire stuff, the fencing, but it's an obstacle. It doesn't provide any cover. And then there's a couple small hills, and that's pretty much it. So there's some nice avenues to travel through. I've got mostly track. Oh, there's some barbed wire deals there, and we play those the same. They provide, I think we said no cover or soft cover, and you can't run through them. You have to advance. And I've got and they're obstacles. I've got all this track stuff, so I can gun it through open spots, and then just crush over anything I need to. I do have a truck, but there's enough avenues. Well, there's a few avenues for trucks to be able to take advantage of. So my first opponent, his name is Luke. Luke has Canadians, and he's brought Canadians, and he's using the British Army rule book for that, obviously. So on he's the only opponent I didn't take his army list, so apologize for that if I messed something up. But everyone else I took a copy of their army list. He's got a Sherman tank. He's got a Bren carrier that is the recce version. It's his armored car, has a boys anti-tank rifle and a light machine gun. He's got a 6-pounder like me. I should have not brought it, but he brought his too. He's got a medium mortar. He's got another Bren carrier transport back there, and then he's got all veteran infantry squads. And they're a bit smaller than 8-man veteran squad. So he's the same size as me. Yeah, and his are all veterans, but there's no commandos, and he's got a truck. So, and he's got a medic. And his free artillery observer is somewhere. But yeah, I think that's pretty much everything he's got. So right away I'm thinking the Sherman is going to be a bitch. But I like the map because there's plenty of trees, so I can probably work my way to him with my Piat crew before I get blasted. The anti-tank gun I'm not too worried about at all, and I doubt Luke's worried about mine either. So we will get to the battle. Apologize for the lighting, not my fault. This place had horrible lighting. They do end up, I think, getting the lighting up a little bit more. Actually, the power goes out in the hotel briefly for a little bit, and then they're able to get the power up. So I didn't start the recorder for the original setup. He deployed, it's within 6 inches, then I deployed. Now we're doing our spotters, snipers, and observers. We've got a few of each. My sniper's over there in that like rice paddy thing on the left. On the other side of the house, he's got a sniper in this building on the middle section. It's a nice little section there, and that's pretty much anything of consequence. My artillery observer is somewhere. I don't even know where he's at, but he's on. So we start pulling dice. I have a tank here right across from this truck, and I blow the truck up. So that was a nice shot. a nice little edge row. He was going to try to run that truck down the side or something, so blasted it, took care of it. And then on the left-hand side here, I've got a regular infantry squad in the middle there, and I've still got my Buffalo and Ram in reserve, and I've got a truck on the far left with a regular rifle squad in it. Because I'm going to try to do the same thing he was going to do on this side, although I got a hill over on my side, kind of to help block line of sight. I put my artillery spotter. I can see on top of that tank, so I put it there towards the end of the turn. And he starts moving some stuff. That is a Bren carrier. If I do the full game of this, I actually was listening to the audio a little bit, and it's actually better than I thought it would be. You can hear me and Luke pretty well. There's a lot of background noise. But if somebody's interested, I'll make it. I'll put it up here when I get done with the regular battle reports. These tournaments, there's a lot of background noise, a lot of people. I was also disappointed that there's no side tables. It was really bad. I was hoping to have a little more room to put my stuff, especially have some room to put the camera. So I have to have it kind of nestled right up close to me. On the tripod, so I guess I'm spoiled at going to Bug Eater and stuff, and when I played some fantasy they'd have like a nice side table to put your army. We had to chair it, so, and it was a little tight. I was able to, fortunately, had enough extension cord to run it to the camera, so I am able to record all the games, but see, like, it's so close to me, unfortunately. I lean in close and it refocuses on me, and the lighting is so poor in this place that it gets all blurry. I do check it periodically and I make sure it gets corrected, but obviously I'm in the middle of a game. You get like focused on that, and it's very difficult sometimes to remember. So there I noticed it, was like, oh my gosh, that's horrible. So I'm able to fix that and get the camera on the right hand side here a little bit. He still has this tank to come in. I just moved this rifle squad there. My sniper put a pin on that. He's got a regular squad, or actually he's all veterans. He's got a veteran squad kind of trudging towards me. So now I'm just I'm out of range for a shot there. He's got this squad coming up, run. So I come up on top of the hill with my tank, and I let him have some machine gun magic. And I don't roll very well at all. I only pick off one guy and put a pin on. So, that's a decent sized squad. I might have killed two guys. He's coming in with a Bren carrier on a run, has a Piat and his lieutenant in there. So he's kind of doing the same thing as me with the Piat, but he has a tank to back it up. It's not on the board yet, but on the left hand side, I don't even know where my anti-tank gun is, actually. Here comes my Ram. I do a run order, so I just don't even bother to do any shooting. I just get in there. And in the Ram, I have my Piat, and I think I do. It's hard to remember. I know I have a regular rifle squad, and I think the Piat. And I think I have the flamethrower and my lieutenant and the Buffalo with 2 commandos. Here comes this. I come in on advance order because I can see those guys. So I'm going to try to put my light autocannon on that, and then my machine guns on these guys. They're going to have hard cover because of the angle of that with the hill. So go ahead, and I'm able to get a hit on them. And then this thing, I need a pretty good roll, and I should have rolled 2 dice. I only rolled 1 because it gets 2 shots. But oh no, he wrecked. So he wrecked and went behind the destroyed tanks. So that's alright. Pushed it back. With my strike force list, and it's like you come in and you're not really going that far. It's like I kind of want to run all the time, but I can't with these open tops. I can't run like that buffalo up there, because if I don't pull the next order dice, he can assault me or something, and everybody have to get out. Getting back in a vehicle is a pain in the ass in bolt action. You should be able to get in it and then the vehicle drive, but you can't according to rules. So, and there it looks like my artillery came in, and or actually that was his artillery. Might have bombed himself. Wasn't paying attention to the video. Bunch of pins down. I think that's my artillery. Yeah, my artillery went off, and got some pins on some stuff. And that's the end of the turn. So I'm feeling pretty confident. My plan is to just slow him down in the middle and on the far left. If I can just delay him from getting across the board with my sniper, and then 2 rifle squads and an anti-tank gun up on a hill over there. I mean, you can fire at infantry periodically and try to score a lucky pin. Oh, there's artillery. That's the artillery he's doing right now. So it was a nice artillery blast. Came in. But nothing, no 6s. But a lot of pins. Oh, I had hit his one squad on that hill prior to it with a heavy mortar. I rolled a 6 and was able to put some pins on there as well, if I remember correctly. So the things that I have to look at, sorry for the being in the video so many times, but yeah, we were very tight quarters, and a couple of the other games I think it's a little better, but it was, you know, tight. You don't want to infringe on the guy to your side there, and we had tables behind us in this one. There's a couple games where we didn't have any tables behind us. I was able to move the camera back a little bit. So my ram moves up and put some shots on that. I'm trying to put pins on there. I don't want that Piat coming out. He gets the next order dice and he passes his order check though, and he does get up there and he's gonna take that shot. Not good, and he freaking hits me, and anything but a 1. Luke, feel bad for Luke. So I took a pin, but he hit with that Piat. I think he needed a 6. He still had a pin on him, shape charge, movement, long range. He still hit me, and rolled a 1. Wow. So now I pass with my tank, and I'm gonna hit those guys again with a bunch of machine gun shots, and being point blank like that, yeah, you don't want to be that. You don't want to be there. So now there's one guy left, and he fails his check, and he's gone. So now my Buffalo's free to really try to haul ass, but I still don't know where his tank is. So I do bring a rifle squad out here. I'm going to shoot that Piat team point blank, and be able to pick a guy off, and he fails his morale check, minus down a couple pins. So that's good. Piat is no longer a threat. Now he's only got like an anti-tank rifle on his Bren carrier, and then he's got the Sherman still that hasn't come in. Here, I'm feeling very confident on the right-hand side, so I'm going to go ahead and move these guys up. They are in range now. Movement, soft cover. I got a nice alley to them right there. There's no hard cover. You see those sandbag things around the sides of the thing there and the building, but I got a nice view. I don't even think I hit that turn though with the movement, but still have a sniper in the little rice paddy on the other side of the. Actually, pretty close to those guys. Too close. He's got a veteran squad. They're hiking it. They're up in. They come in from reserve, or they had the turn before, and they come in there. They've got some shots at my truck that has a unit of 8 riflemen in it. I think I don't have any cover because my truck is so big from that angle. So he gets a bunch of hits and gets no 6s. So my truck's still alive. That's a nice little thing. I mean, my regular, he's got his mortar, medium mortar, back behind that tree on the top left against his board edge. And that's the target of my truck. If I can get there, I would like to knock that mortar out of the game. Because you get half point for each thing destroyed. Speed this video back up a little bit more. That's actually going a little too slow there. I don't know why. And nobody wants to see dead space there. So I'm going to speed this video up a little bit more. These guys fire at my sniper. I think they need 6s to hit, and he misses. So that's nice. Here I've got my... I'm waiting on the buffalo, you know, because I don't want to give him a golden shot with that Sherman to come in. But I go ahead and screw it. Run, and I just scoot back. So I run all up to there. If he wants to bring the Sherman in, you know, I'm just going to have to... I think he was trying to move this out of the way so he could probably bring the Sherman there. But he ends up failing. He has to back up. This rifle squad comes up to the edge of that destroyed tank and fires at me. He's just trying to put a pin on me, and he does, so I take a pin. And then he's got that on the top right by his tape measure is a 6-pounder gun, right? He had brought that in. He fails to check with that, or actually he backed that thing up. And they just blocked. He might have failed and backed up, and now he's blocking the line of sight for a 6-pounder. He had come in one turn, shot at me one turn with that, and missed, and now he just blocked himself off. So that's nice. Here's a picture from a little bit earlier than that. That skull token is where I dropped my artillery barrage, and I rolled the 12 on it, and then he did roll a 1 on his artillery, and that's what I was able to inflict more damage. He did quite a few. I'm pretty sure he bombed himself. This is just an early deployment picture with the squad in the center, but not much there to look at. I didn't take a whole lot of pictures of this game. I felt rushed getting started, getting the camera set up. Then power went out. The lighting was horrible. They do get it turned up a little bit, but you just have to press on and keep going. So, new turn. First dice I put down is on my buffalo, and I advance it up to there, and I fire some shots all over the place. I want to get these commandos out. You see that dice down by my ram? That's a dice I couldn't see, so it's supposed to be in the bag. I didn't put that down yet. We noticed it here after a little bit. And it's because I've got something in the woods there, I think. But or maybe it was for the ram originally. But so I'm shooting with the buffalo. He's trying to activate, and he fails and goes down with that rifle squad. I bring a flamethrower out, and I torch those dudes. Do like a bunch more pins, and so that squad's evaporated. So I've got my 2 commandos in the buffalo still. I believe my lieutenant is in the buffalo as well. So now it's getting hot, really heated over here. He still has a Sherman tank that hasn't come in yet. I pass on a... Yeah, I have my lieutenant in the buffalo. I pass with a commando squad, and I come out there, and I put some shots on the Bren carrier. I actually, see, on the next turn I'm planning to up and atom assault that mortar observer on top of the hill. But here comes the Sherman tank. And fires into my guys. And shot his anti-tank gun at my buffalo and hit me. and rolled a 1 to damage me. So I just took 1 pin, and his machine guns did nothing to my commandos. His Bren carrier or something shoots my flamethrower. Or no, it wasn't his. It was his artillery observer. Shoots with a rifle and kills one of my 2 guys. Fortunately, I passed. Here he's got a small 2-man team there. I think that's his lieutenant. Or no, yeah, his lieutenant. And then, boy, that's just horrible with the camera being so close to my shoulder like that. And I apologize. I couldn't get it. Without interfering with the other people, I couldn't get it over there. So mainly we just got a lot of little stuff here. That's my Piat team. It came out of the ram, and I fire at the tank, and I miss. And then my ram goes ahead and moves up, and it's going to put some medium machine gun fire. Boy, that's just horrible. This is horrible. I'm just going to have to skip ahead to when it's clear. I'm shooting at his anti-tank gun. I exposed myself a little bit to put a pin on it. He tries to activate the tank gun, and he gets a foobar and has to go backwards. Here's clear up a little bit. You can see my tank is in the woodland there. It's pretty much protected from the Sherman, as it can't fire through 2 inches of woods. Well, actually, we were playing that. I forget. But so he's got a beleaguered Bren carrier there. His lieutenant is somewhere. He's got a lot of little stuff there. Now we're doing some stuff over on the left-hand side. And there's a little better picture you can see. There's my truck back there. It's parked next to his mortar. And I actually get my rifle squad out of the truck, and I'm able to kill the mortar. He's got a veteran squad in the woods just to the left there. And I started advancing my artillery observer up, running him that way as well, because you got to control these objectives. Alright, so let me slow it down just a notch. Yeah, over on the left hand side, I've got 2 squads. So, well, one's a squad and one's an observer. My plan is to wait till the last turn and at least contest that one that he's got that veteran infantry squad sitting on. And then on the right hand side here, my regular squad assaults his lieutenant. I'm able to kill him, and I don't really overrun anywhere. And then, because we started a new turn here while I was talking, so I've got my commandos there with a couple pins on them. My plan was to up an atom assault onto that mortar observer, but I actually killed the mortar. My Buffalo fails a check and has to go back, so it backs up. And so that's where I killed the mortar. And actually the mortar spotter goes away when you do that. So that was actually, I was planning to assault that with an up and atom, so I'd clear my pins and then I'd kind of flow down on the other side of that hill. So now I kind of screwed myself. I don't really have any up and atom assaults other than the Bren carrier, so I go ahead and attack it. He does a defensive fire, and I don't hurt it. So I roll really poorly. I don't hurt it, but I reconsolidate back behind the hill away from him, kind of in front of the 6-pounder. So he moves him over for me, and now he can't back up anymore. And he's actually going to be destroyed at the end of the turn because he's a transport with nobody in it, with me closer. So that's going to die. I got my commandos out of the way of the Sherman, and then it kind of dawns on me, I don't have anybody going towards that middle token. Here's a little snapshot. It's actually right about this time in the video. I don't know if this tank is activated or not yet. It might have failed. It's got 1 pin on it. I think it does shoot at my tank, and maybe it hadn't activated yet. No, it's got an activation, but I don't know what it did. I'm a little farther in the video. Other than that, this is pretty close to right where we're at with my commandos behind this Bren carrier. And the Bren carrier will die at the end of the turn because it's too close. Oh, I remember what this tank did. I totally forgot to activate my Piat. When I was getting those first order dies, I got him sitting right in front of the tank. I could have walked up or just fired from where I was at, or walked up to a point-blank side shot. I totally forgot to activate it, and his tank machine gunned my Piat and killed him. So that, yeah, that's what. So the tank did activate, but it's still alive. I don't really have much to deal with it. I got a light anti-tank gun on my tank, but you know, do I expose myself to fire or not? Okay, so continuing on, the way Luke wanted to play woods, and we discussed this in the original part, is if you're in the woods, there's no line of sight blockage, but you get the cover. If both parties are on the other sides of 2 inches of woods and you can't see. So I fire my tank at his Sherman, and I score a hit, get a glance, and I immobilize it. So it's immobilized. That's not bad. And then my ram goes ahead and advances up to there. It's pretty bold, I know, but what the hell. Go ahead and fire a machine gun, put a pin on there. Don't hurt anybody because he's got a gun shield. He's got a medic behind that hill there too. And over in the middle, all I'm doing is sniper hitting and shooting long-range rifles at that squad, and I'm getting multiple pins. Even though he's a veteran, he's got like 2 or 3 pins. So my commandos here just run. They don't, I mean, I'm looking at, I got all this stuff over on the right. I can contest the other one if he doesn't kill off my observer and my squad. And so here I'm just going to run my commandos, because they go around and they say, you know, I got so much time left. And it's like, ooh, I don't, you know, I need to do something to make sure. You see where that token is. You have to be within 3 inches of it. So I'm looking at that thinking I'm not going to make it unless we have 2 turns. However, in my mind, he's got an artillery observer behind that wall in the middle. He does kill off my sniper here with some shooting. So if you see that guy with the dice next to him, he's the one that shot my flamethrower man. I can do an assault on him. It's within 12, I believe. I only have to get to the wall. I can form up around him, and then I can consolidate D6 inches in any direction I want. So I'll need a good consolidation roll, like a 5 or a 6, I think, to make it. But that's my intention if we don't go to another turn. So I'm going to try to do that as soon as possible. He's putting a pin on my commandos. That's okay, because I know I can up and at him, and I'll automatically pass an assault charge. So there my truck fails an order check and backs up, which is fine because I was going to move it out of the way anyway. You know, the power went out for a little bit. We had no lights or anything, so now we're back to the game. My flamethrower just shoots that thing and put a pin on it. I passed my order check, and actually I did do D6 hits. In hindsight, I should have advanced to the other side of that tank. I mean, I could have. I had plenty of movement, so I didn't take the -1. We were kind of hurrying because the time and then the power had gone out for a while. So it's like, woo, let's hurry. So we're going to get one more turn in, and we know at this point with the power outage and stuff, we know we're probably only going to get one. We're 99% sure we're only going to get one more turn in. So I know I need to try to do that commando bonsai to get to that thing. Damn camera angle is pissing me off. So it's probably pissing you off at home too. I'm going to do my commando bonsai here. He's going to do a reactionary fire. He does hit and he kills a guy. So this guy is quite the boss of our artillery observers. He feels remorse at bombing himself. We go Simo. He actually kills a guy, stabs a dude in the face. I obviously kill him. And then the big roll is consolidation, and I don't remember what I rolled. A 4. Oh, it must have been 6 inches. 6 inches from a toe, because Luke just measured it there, and he said I was in. So 6-inch radius, and it has to be infantry. Can't be armored vehicle. So I'm not like super worried about killing his tank. No, correction on that, I just reread it. Yeah, armored vehicles can claim it. So he's immobilized. I believe he's right around close to 6 inches away from it. I'm not sure. So I claim the middle one. I contest the left one. And I have all my 3. Yeah, that's right. So So right now I've got 4 in my control. That's 12 points. Contested one with the armored vehicle there, and contested. It's going to be contested on the left. I'm bringing my tanks up, just blasting away at his Sherman, and then there's pretty much so much time left, and it doesn't matter if I can kill him or not. I mean, he's immobilized, so he can't even like fail a check and go backwards or anything. It's a miracle shot. He said, you know, we can just call it, because here on the left hand side he can't kill both mine, and I'll be able to run within 6 inches, so that'll be contested. In the center I control it. That one's contested, and I own my 3. So I've got 12 for those, and I've killed like 6 or so units, and he's killed 2, so that's another 3 points. So I double him up as far as the points, and I get a major victory. So wasn't able to shirk that Sherman off the token there from 6 inches, but I was able to hold my 3 and capture that center one. And I didn't need the center one in hindsight, but you know, you never know what can happen. Just try to grab as many as you can, because there were 3 points each. I had quite a bit more order dice taken out of the game of his than he had of me, so doubling him up, I wouldn't have had him. Let's see, I had 3, 6, 9, and even if I didn't control that one, or contest, he would have had 3. I don't know. Anyway, I got a major victory. Luke was a good opponent. We had a good time. He had some unfavorable dice rolls, quite a bit in certain situations. Yeah, my idea worked. I shouldn't have gone so far to the right. I should have headed for one of the tokens and then branched in left to go to the middle one. Fortunately, I was able to do okay in the combats and cleared off a bunch of units. So that's one game under my belt, heading to the next table. And the next matchup is going to be actually on table 3. So, you know, it's going to be interesting, and we're going to see how it goes. Alright, thanks for watching. Comments, put them down. Questions, put them down. See a rules question that maybe we messed up on, comment. That's it. I do these battle reports to learn as much as I do to entertain. The video quality, apologize for that, but it was beyond my control. We'll get a little better camera angles in some of the other battles. This one was, boy, we were wedged in there, and we're happy to get it done. By the way, toting a camera around, trying to get it plugged into the wall and stuff, whew, that's a little bit of a hassle when you're trying to rush from table to table. But I do it because I love the game and I love doing the battle reports. So thanks for watching. If you like, subscribe. Appreciate it.